It was looking back at me, screaming, "Come and get me," and it looked perfect. Welcome everybody. Now this isn't a video that I had planned to make at all. However, if we go back a few weeks, this came out.
Z Fold 8.
The Z Fold 8.
Z Fold 8.
Z Fold 8.
I have my views on how Samsung got this idea, but nevertheless, like everybody, I was obsessed. Form factor alone was fantastic. I held it in my hands in several shops and I was ready to buy it, but I stopped myself. Why? And it was this guy, and iPhones in general. Who can blame me? Millions of dollars into design and marketing to make the perfect product that is amazing for the general public. It's simple, as the phrase is, it just works. And don't get me wrong, they do, but because of how deliberate Apple are with everything, they've managed to hook most of us. That is until today. So stick around to the end of the video to finally find out if Samsung beats Apple. Now, before we get into the video, very serious topic. This is Coda. He is the German Shepherd of this family, and he has a terrible treat addiction. If you like, comment and subscribe, we can afford to get Coda some top level treats. So since the second iPhone, I've had nearly every single one, and back then I really don't think there was any competition for Apple in the smartphone world. In fact, probably not until the last 5 years. I'm currently on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is recording up here. Now, I have been tempted to swap before, but that was more for being a geek loving tech than actually being attracted to a certain brand or design. That was until the latest Z Fold series. I'd held previous generations and thought they were cool, but they weren't anything I felt that I needed until this generation. So why wasn't it enough to make me switch back then? The iPhone Fold, Ultra, whatever they're going to call it. Worst kept secret that everybody wants. And the idea of switching before what could be Apple's first foldable gave me an immense feeling of fear of missing out. For the first time, I had a smartphone dilemma. First world problems, I know, but speaking to people, I was developing this scratch that I was dying to itch. So enter from stage left, CEX. CEX are a trade-in retailer in the UK. They deal in physical media, phones, tablets, and I even saw a Nintendo Advance SP. What a throwback. Now this isn't sponsored unless they want to sponsor it, wink wink, but I walked past one of their shops the other day and I saw the Samsung S25 Ultra in the window. It was looking back at me, screaming, "Come and get me," and it looked perfect. £600 and a 5-year warranty covering everything. I've checked. Now, it's not the first time I've tried an Android. Last year I bought a Pixel 9a, but it didn't go well. Nothing against it or Google, but going from top of the range iPhone to a budget phone really ruined the experience for me. I'm going to pause here now for a short montage of my first moment with this gorgeous device. You're all going to be aware this is last year's flagship model. I'm not going to go through the specs. If you really want to know them, you can pause the video now. With it in hand, as you can see here, it's in excellent condition. Only issue is a scratch across this lens, but that camera isn't affected, so that's brilliant. Another stop later at Argos, and I had an official Samsung case for £8. I was ready to start this journey. My partner is extremely used to this. I was distracted for the rest of the day. I was using hotspot from my iPhone to get everything set up as we were walking around. I held off making any major changes. I just downloaded all my apps and got signed into everything, and I had no interest in any of the switching tools, so being out and about, that wasn't a problem. So now logged into everything, I was a 2-phone guy, not the drug dealer kind. They say first impressions count, and it's true. Even before I started tinkering with anything, I was impressed. My first selfie, amazing, despite the major uncle vibes, which I need to fix. And what do you mean I can record in 8K? What do you mean there's a fingerprint scanner in the screen? All this coming from a guy who posted a video earlier in the week saying that Touch ID was Holding back anything meaningful, I did plan to record a video of me setting the phone up, but you've already all seen stuff like that. There's no need for me to do that. Unless you really want to, let me know and I can do that for you. I still have the footage. And here's where I've made some first observations. Why isn't part of the setup process selecting the text size, screen resolution, things like that, the app grid size and such? So my 3 first changes on setting the phone up: increasing the size of the app grid, making the resolution to the max and most vivid, and making every single text size the smallest I can. I want to get as much as I can on the screen. There's even more, but again, you already know that. If you do want more detail of how I set up the phone, like, subscribe and comment what you'd like to know. choices. So it's been roughly 2 days now and I've not installed a SIM on this yet. With hotspot I haven't needed to, and I'll be honest, at a certain point I did get overwhelmed, but in a good way. There was just so much choice to be had on this phone. Samsung apps, Google apps. I might have a different Android device in the future, so I went with Google apps predominantly. Seemed to make sense. Samsung Pay, Google Pay, and I found the integration for Google Pay is more available. What Notes app am I going to use? This one's still up for debate because I've been spoilt by Apple Notes. We all have. How can I sync my photos and other data? So for photos, I've installed Google Photos on the iPhone and it's still downloading everything to its original size, so that's going to take a while still, I think. Google Drive I have got, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. WhatsApp, luckily, we can sign in as a companion device, so that takes care of a lot of the communication stuff, calls, FaceTime, messages, and it's a nice problem to have, but I think this is why people choose Apple over Android majority of the time. When you first turn on a brand new iPhone, everything's so simple. It's served you in this perfect little package, and for most people, that's all they want. I thought I was one of those people until 2 days ago. BlueBubbles. Again, not sponsored, but one of the biggest fixes to keep that cult status of iMessage is BlueBubbles. Warning, this does take some setting up, but once it's done, it's actually magic. Full disclosure, you do need a Mac to be running this as a server in the background 24/7. Luckily, I've got a Mac Mini M1 that is dedicated for stuff like that, so we didn't have a problem. But now, not only do I have my iMessages, but my SMS messages from my number too. Authentication codes, order numbers, the lot. If you're interested in this, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video about how to set it up. Thank you, BlueBubbles, absolute legends. I'm sure it's only the tip of the iceberg, but here are a few of my favourite things from the S25 Ultra so far. Very simple, brightness. It stays bright. Sometimes on the iPhone, even if you take off adaptive and you put it all the way up, it doesn't get that bright. This you can go overdrive brightness, and I quite like that. Split screen. Picture in picture is great, but it just gets in the way. Now I can doom scroll my social media with my favourite YouTuber along for the ride. I'm trying to get to my first 1,000 subscribers. Their cameras, 8K video, enough said. Beauty enhancements? I've still got so much of that app to go through. Maybe it's a future video because that camera app is insane. And widgets, they're actually useful. The now playing function throughout the system is brilliant. Widgets have free roam to be useful. And the S Pen, is it a gimmick or not? I don't know, but I'm enjoying it, especially for photo editing and things like that. Being able to be precise. I don't understand why they dropped this from the Z Fold series this year. Just the iceberg. What's not so great? I have to balance things out and give some credit to Apple. The Apple stock apps are a cut above the rest. You can really feel the attention to detail in all the design, even the calculator. They make the iPhone that clean experience that's simple, like I mentioned earlier. You don't really need to go searching for any alternatives. On the S25 Ultra, I've spent a lot of time searching for alternatives, and I'm still doing it now. I still need to figure out a calendar app, a notes app, and some other essentials. It's going to sound weird, but I miss the iPhone calendar app. And third-party apps, they're just not as optimised a lot of the time. You can see where the designs don't quite fit the screen, you've got bars, or the UI just doesn't seem optimised for the device. In the Akara app, I can't even play back on my doorbell at the moment. This might be picky, and you might probably tell me how that I can fix this, but live photos or motion photos on iPhone, it's just tap and hold, it plays. I have to press a button on the Samsung. You'll be able to tell me in the comments if there's any way to fix these things, and I'm sure there are, but that's where that simplicity again matters. On iPhone you don't need to do that. Apple makes it simple. That brings me to the big question, who wins? Me. I'm going to run the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the Samsung S25 Ultra side by side. Depending on how easy it is, I'm going to swap the SIM between the two as and when I need it. And when the iPhone foldable comes out, the iPhone 16 Pro Max goes to a very happy 15-year-old. Now, this is where you come in. If you've made it this far, I will need your help. As you know, I'm new to Android and I need your help. I need your advice and your recommendations to get the best experience. Seriously, it would mean a lot to me if you just comment and give me some advice, just so that I can get an idea that you're enjoying these videos. And even a cheeky subscribe if you really want to. At the very least, go and follow me on X and give me some tips and tricks over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you soon.